Commenting with Google Plus sucks. But commenting with Reddit is awesome. So head on over to Reddit and leave a comment on this video. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Hey there! You're watching the Jessa channel on YouTube. I'm Jessa, and today we are here with a special extra episode of Crafts and Conquest, in which we're going to be doing a quick little backstory adventure between two of our players, played by Darian playing Osana and Stephanie playing Makino. And we've done some brainstorming off camera to figure out how Osana and Makino, our two characters that you see here and here, how they would have met and connected. And we came up with the neat idea that they met at a traveling circus. So we're here in an arena outside a big city, and the circus has set up here temporarily. Over here we have a high wire act going on. We have an elephant performing. We have a bear here. And we also have Osana, who is here. We're going to find out why she's here. These areas here lead to the underworks, where the performers get ready during the circus, and also when it is being used as an arena, as a gladiators arena. That's where the gladiators can come up onto the field, or animals can come up as well through here. And down here we have, outside the circus, some tents set up that are offering food to patrons before they enter into the arena. So, Osana and Makino, you hear circus music going on around you, which you can hear in the background here. There's a happy cheer as the bear is lifting up. Osana, I'm going to move you temporarily. Let me move this to back. There you are. I'm going to move you just off the screen, next to Makino, or wherever you'd like to be. Just put yourself wherever you'd like to be around the spectators, and then of course you can move on to the area that you'd like to. You see a bear in doing tricks. There are circus performers on here too. The audience is clapping, and both of you are feeling a touch hungry. And as Dungeon World, how we always do with Dungeon World, we start off the game with the very important question: what do you do? That was the music ended perfectly there. That was awesome.
Let's see. I think this is Osana's first time in civilization other than Druid society, so she's kind of like, what is this place? What is going on? And she's hungry, but first, there are some nice animals chilling over here. So I think her first order of business is to go down here, say hello to Mr. Elephant, but more importantly, say hello to Mr. Bear. That's your first priority right here.
Okay, as you enter the arena, people kind of laugh. They're unsure why there's a woman in furs sort of walking over, looking overwhelmed and dazed. And I'm going to ask for you to tell the audience really quickly the reason why you are at the circus in the first place.
Well, I guess going in this whole quest thing, in Druid society, like, their forest was being destroyed, so they had to choose one person to go off, basically try to, end all this stuff messing up their nice place. So they chose Osana because she's not really good at Druid stuff. And they're like, you know what, let's just send her. No one likes her anyway. It's true. Just go off and do things.
Okay, so so basically she kind of got shooed out of her living environment where she was living with her people to go off and do a quest that we are now on. And for the audience, to keep you from being confused, this is actually a backstory episode. This is happening all prior to what you saw last week. It's a way for the characters to establish how they know each other, and it's just a little role play fun exercise that we decided to do today. So anyway, Osana, as you come up, I'm gonna bring out a man here. Let's see if I can try the word performer, perhaps, or I can always go for my tried and true male or female. Doesn't really matter. I'm gonna go for female. Let's go for female. And it's often hard to find the token that you want. Something that just looks, here we go. In the tent, Osana, you see a woman dressed all in purple, beautiful robes for obviously her performing robes. You'll notice that the robes look a little tattered around the edges. She is holding a stick in her hand. She is directing the bear to do things. And as she, the bear is following and dancing along, and she's playing a little tune. And she turns to you, Osana, and she says, "What are you doing here? Get back into the audience. What are you doing?"
It's like, sorry, ma'am, but I don't think you've noticed. There's a really nice bear here. I'm just trying to shake his paw, be his best friends. And you can go back to, you're wearing your purple thing. That's cool too, but most importantly, this here bear. I think I should talk to him. I should be like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like, what's going on? Why are you here?
The bear looks at you with sad eyes. As if a bear could cry, he would cry. And he looks at you and, he tries to continue dancing and he goes, "Roar!" Makino, what are you doing at this point?
I'm waving down somebody with some food.
Okay, there's a man going along the aisles.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a mystery meat waffle. Okay,
he says, I got lots of different mystery meats waffles with different sauces on it. You want something hot, kind of spicy, or do you want something mild?
I want something hot, but I am sure that here in your lands, that would be mild.
He says, I don't think so. I've melted tongues out of their mouths before. He said he rifles
Bring
through.
Bring me your spiciest then. I will show you what sterner stuff is made of.
He looks at you and he pauses and he says, "My absolute spiciest?"
Of course.
He says,
"Nothing but the greatest."
For that, I will have to go back to my tent. I will be back momentarily with the, and then he pauses and says, "with the spiciest I have to offer."
Yes.
And he gambles off. He toddles off, and he's wearing a colorful outfit with stripes all over it and a cocky hat with a feather in it. And he wanders off to get you something. In the meantime, Osana, the bear is looking at you, and he says a mournful, and the performer comes up to you and says, "If you do not leave right this minute, I will call the gods."
Listen, man, I don't think you've noticed, but there's this nice bear here, and he's not too pleased. I think me and the bear, we're gonna go do some bear things. And I think right now would be a good time to switch into a bear, to let him know, like, hey man, we can be bears together. You don't have to fear no longer. We can be bears.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the rules here again really quickly for that. And I didn't mean to do that. Let's do that here. Okay, so your move for turning into a bear is shapeshifter, and I'm going to cut and paste that into the chat here so that we can see that. And thank you. I appreciate that, Stephanie. Okay, so there is the move for a bear, and also Osana, you can speak with animals. So do you say anything particular to this bear? He's just dancing around. He has a collar on that looks a little bit too tight. And
I like asked him like, what's wrong, man? You know, you're so nice, but why are you so sad?
The woman is looking very upset and angry, and she goes over outside the tent, and she goes down here, and she goes down into the into the underneath here, into the underdarks, or the underways, or whatever the hell I call them, and she says, you can hear her crying, I need help, I need help, there's an interloper on stage, she's messing with
Oso de la Fez!
What's his name?
Oso de la Fez.
Oso de la Fez?
Yeah.
Stephanie! She was like, yeah.
It's a D&D joke. There's a D&D familiar from one of the Dragon magazines, and they called it Oso de la Fez, and it was the most like powered up, broken familiar that you could ever possibly hope for. I mean, it could dance, it could sing, you could pretty much like impersonate. You could like play Oso de la Fez as a player character. Anyway. So
okay.
Oso de la Fez.
Okay, so I'm gonna say Oso, because don't make me say Oso de la Fez over and over again, Stephanie.
Maybe you should call him Fez, so that.
Okay, let's call him Fez. What do you think, Darian?
Since Darian's character's name is Osana.
Oh, okay. So, Oso and Fez will be your. Okay, so as you speak to him, you can see his eyes are intelligent. They're wise and they're sad, Osana. And he goes, and then he looks around, like and then he starts looking towards this entrance here, and he goes, and he puts a sad paw on your shoulder, which almost knocks you to your knees. He's huge. Your character, I don't know how big your character is, Osana. What's her size and weight, for example?
Let me see. Well, she was a halfling, so I think I wrote the size of my character straight.
Oh my gosh, she's a halfling?
Yeah, she's 3 foot and 30 pounds.
Oh my god. Okay, so he puts a bare hand on your shoulder, and you actually do go to your knees. And he turns to you and he goes, wah, 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 wah.
Oh no, I should probably turn into a bear. Maybe he wants friends.
Okay, so go ahead and roll for that. And what you do is, over here on your macro bar, you should have the macro that says 2d6. Roll 2d6. Do you see it on the bottom there?
Yep, it brings up a modifier.
That's perfect. And for that modifier, you're going to put in your wisdom modifier, which in your case...
It's -1 or something.
In your case...
Oops.
It's -1, yes. Yeah. So let's see what we get here. So put -1 in there.
If I fail, can I like turn into something random? Like that would be hilarious. If like I don't get to turn into the animal I want, but I just turn into like an inconvenient animal, or is it just not work like that?
It can work. I firmly believe that we can make things work the way we want them to work. I've always believed that. But in this case, I'll show you what your options are. You can there's no real fail on this. You turn into the animal you want to turn into. Mm-hmm. But on a 6 or less on your roll, mm-hmm. I can turn your move against you, or I can You'll have one less hold, and I'll explain what hold means in a minute. In addition to whatever the GM says. So I could make it be that you turn into a different animal, but we're just going to have to find out what happens. Go ahead and roll.
Oh, exciting. And 5. Oh, no.
Disaster happens!
Turn into a blade of grass now. Oh, no.
let me consult. And I have this here. Oh, I get to use this for the first time. This is great. That's what I put up whenever I am doing something not on your screen and I'm determining what's going to happen. Okay. And what's going to happen is, let's see. I need. Oh, haha. Let's see if this works. This is players. I'm sorry, audience. This is a co-creative experience. The characters are working together, and the players are working together with me. All of us are players to determine what's going to happen. So I'm going to throw something out here, based upon, and the audience just saw that happen there. You can see this word here, which I can't put up on the screen for the players. So I'm going to use that and have that be the consequence to her quote-unquote failed roll, which in Dungeon World, anything that you roll that is 6 or under is a not succeed roll. Let's put it that way. It's not really a fail, it's just a not succeed. It's, certainly not succeeding. Would you agree with that, Stephanie?
I would say that it's called failing forward in Dungeon World. One of the tenets of Dungeon World is that failure means something interesting happens. Success means something interesting happens, and it's something interesting that's good for the players or the player characters. Failing forward means you fail in the sense that whatever it was that you wanted to have happen is not going to happen, but it's going to drive the story in some direction. Failure never means you stop. Failure usually means you better start running forward fast.
And in this case, Osana, you feel a kind of furry, hard, matted skin. Your skin turns into, you grow huge. Your bones start to separate. Your body begins to fill a very large sphere, I should say. At least 6'5", 7 feet tall. The bear goes, whoa. And you grow some fangs, and your hands grow claws, and you hear someone from the audience look at you, and all of a sudden everyone in the audience starts screaming and yelling, and they're jumping up from their places, and they go, oh my god, hobgoblin! And they start running for the exits. At this moment, Makino, while you see this happening on screen, your man comes back. He's ignoring the nonsense. He sees the hobgoblin and he goes, "Oh, that's funny. Huh, that wasn't there before." And then he walks up to you and he says to you, "Madame," with a great flourish,
okay,
"my spiciest of spicy meat pasties."
Okay, so I'm standing there, and my hands are already on my sword, about to draw it from my back scabbard.
Yeah.
And I kind of look at him, and I look at the chaos that's erupting down on the arena floor, and I'm thinking, fame and glory, sandwich. Fame and glory, sandwich. But my Herculean appetite is fame and glory, so and not mortal pleasures. So. I reach out, I grab the meat waffle, which I'm envisioning is like, mystery meat wrapped in a waffle. Okay, this is it's easily held, right?
Taco Bell waffle taco.
Yeah, it's like chicken and waffles, but with mystery meat and spicy something. So I grab that in one hand, and I kind of nod and start charging down the stairs. I'll pay him later.
He goes, "Oh, you enjoy that sandwich. Have you eaten it yet, or taken a bite?"
No, not yet. But as I'm running down the stairs and heading, kind of yonder, like at the base of the stairs, I fold it in half, shove the whole thing into my mouth. Because I need both hands in order to
exactly
to use my sword. So I shove the whole thing in my mouth, And it's like,
she appears right in front of you.
And it's okay, and then I draw the sword. So basically, what's like the spicy sauce is bright red.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't all fit in my mouth. So it's like it's like kind of oozing out of my mouth
Ooh,
as I'm going down the stairs.
I didn't see where this is going.
It's a little bit foamy too. So I basically look extremely rabid as I'm drawing my weapon to fight this hobgoblin that just appeared in the middle of the arena. I look like a rabid barbarian as I'm charging down this. I'm not even charging. I'm just, but Makino doesn't move quietly or with an economy of movement in any way, shape, or form. So, these people are just lucky she's not yelling that she's going to conquer them at this moment.
Okay.
Mostly because her mouth is full.
So what you see in front of you, Makino, is as you're coming down these stairs, you see the bear tamer woman, coming back up the stairs, up the ladder, and you hear some men coming up behind her. And Osana, the bear, is looking at you with frightened eyes, but not in a way of running away. But he's looking as if he's not sure if he should be fighting you, or if you're still his friend, or if you're some sort of evil. He's not backing away, but he's looking like his fur, like on a cat, his fur is starting to bristle up. What do you do?
Let's see, how big was I again? Like, am I larger than the bear, or?
You are, about half a foot larger than the bear now,
So, I'm, like, big enough to, like, lift him up.
No. He's you are a hobgoblin, which, I can put one on the screen for you, but we've seen them. But basically, the bear is muscle, heavier. You can talk to him, you can get him to follow you, perhaps. You could try grabbing his collar, which is too tight, might hurt him, but you can do that. But you can't pick him up, unfortunately.
Well, at least I should be strong enough to take his collar off, at least, though.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so I can probably take that off, because I don't think he likes that. And I should be like, hey man, try to turn into a bear. I don't know what I turned into, but it's not quite a bear. But listen, we should go over to the waffle taco stand. I hear they're pretty good. They're pretty spicy.
Osana is great. She's like, hey man. That's just awesome.
She's like a hippie druid. It's
awesome.
awesome.
She's a hippie druid. She's just great. The bear hears your voice coming out, even through the fangs, but through your thickened lips, and he goes, oh, and then his fur goes down, and he kind of pats at his chest like this, like, around where the collar is, and he looks at you with a questioning look. So you attempt to take his collar off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Unfortunately, your fingers are very thick, and the collar is tight, and it's going to need some finesse to get it off. It's made for human hands to be able to get it off, as opposed to the thick, stubby, clawed fingers of a hobgoblin. So, unfortunately, you're unable to get it off, but the bear says, and then at this point, right when he makes that noise, you see the following happen. You see 3 men come up, one from here, and I'm going to make them resize them, of course, and because they're big, huge.
They're enormous ninja.
I know, enormous ninjas. Wah! And they come up to you, and they say, "Whoa there!" And this one comes running around this way. He has they all have sticks that have heavy iron ends on each end that can just pound you. And then this one looks at you and he goes, what are hobgoblin? And he says, oh, well, stand down. And he looks a little bit scared, and he says to the bear, Fez, get back. And the performer comes over, and she tries to kind of caress Fez and calm him down, but Fez bats her back with his paw, and she goes flying back and almost falls back down the hole. But at this point, she's on her back with just over the hole. Makino,
Yes.
what do you do?
Okay, so these 3 guys have just arrived, and there's an elephant, and there's a hobgoblin, and the hobgoblin is what I was really most concerned about. And it seems to be attacking the bear. Is that right?
The hobgoblin is you see the hobgoblin fumbling around the bear's neck.
Okay, so it's obviously trying to strangle the bear.
I'm listening.
So, I'm going to charge the hobgoblin and trip it.
Okay. Osana, you see a barbarian with beautifully dark skin, of full scale armor on.
It's chainmail. Yeah.
It's chainmail.
Yeah.
Chainmail armor on, and to your amazement, there is blood pouring down from her mouth, dripping from her mouth. Or actually, it looks as if it's blood to you. It's hard to tell. She is chewing still while yelling around a mouthful of food. She comes flying at you in attempting to trip you to the ground. Actually, I'm going to say that she did trip you because I remember now in Dungeon World that is a completed action. In other words, you had an element of surprise. Asana wasn't paying attention, so she trips you to the ground. You land face first on the ground in old sand and matted mud and just a mess there on the arena floor. This episode is presented in parts. To see the next part, click the playlist annotation at the top of the video. If the next part has not been uploaded yet, it will be tomorrow. So if you want to see it, subscribe. Get every new Jessa channel video right in your email inbox. Subscribe, then from your YouTube homepage, click Manage Subscriptions, then check Email with new uploads. And thanks for watching.